Greetings in the name of Yeshua. Hope everybody had a great week. You know, the world we live in is a really strange world anymore. A lot of strange things are happening across the world. A lot of things are happening that makes no sense. But also things happening prophetically that fit right in line with the scriptures. The world we live in sounds like it's a world out of control a lot of times. We got a big thing happening next year at Super Bowl. We have a Super Bowl entertainer called Bad Bunny. And people are getting all crazy with Bad Bunny. So what's the deal with Bad Bunny anyway? What is going on with Bad Bunny? Well, I did some research about him, and lo and behold, I found a Bible code about him. And I also did some research. Something prompted me, Holy Spirit prompted me to look up Taylor Swift. So I found some codes about Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny. I'm going to share with you today. And these this will blow your mind. It blew my mind to look at it. I goes, whoa, this is crazy. So let's take a look at what the Bible code is telling us about what's going on with these entertainers. If you look at, for a first look, take a look at Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is found in Numbers 26. And what year is the Super Bowl in next year? 26. It's interesting. It says Super Bowl 2026 has the actual date in there. Halftime entertainer, Bad Bunny, is an arrogant, demonic puppet, a spirit war, and says serves other gods, a child of Satan. Now, let's take the Bible code piece by piece here. Super Bowl 26. The names Super Bowl in 26. The odds of having that in 26 is astronomical. It just blows your mind that the Bible code has that so accurate there. It says halftime entertainer, which we know is halftime entertainer. It's Bad Bunny. And he knows he's arrogant because the way he talks about TV, he's lifting himself up, pride and stuff. He goes, you got 4 months to learn Spanish, to learn. And if he did learn Spanish or knew Spanish, he wouldn't be able to understand him. And if he did want to understand him, he wouldn't like what he's saying. Unless you're a pervert. So it's interesting that this is arrogance to see is brought out in the code. Think of this as a demonic puppet. Well, he's a demonic puppet because he's falling after spirits and stuff. We have to understand our world we live in is not the world we think it is. We live in a spiritual world, not an evolved world. People think evolution is true. If you believe evolution is true, I need to sell you some magic beans, okay? Because you believe in the can of magic beans. That's stupid. Evolution is so stupid, it's impossible to make it even sound intelligent. So people believe this stuff. People believe the Bible is not real. People say, well, Moses didn't exist or Jesus never exists. They say that because they can't have the courage to face up to real historical facts. We can prove 100% that Moses existed. We find carvings in Egypt with his name on it. We find all kinds of information. We know exactly where Pharaoh's army was destroyed by the waters. We know all kinds of stuff about Moses archaeologically. So proving Moses existed archaeologically is no brainer. The same as Jesus. We have known about Jesus existing than we did all other historical figures. But people discount the Bible because they are being deceived by demonic spirits and demonic powers. We live in a spiritual world that is in a spiritual war that just started with the Garden of Eden. And we see this manifesting really strongly in the world today. So we live in a spiritual world that people can be influenced by demonic spirits. We have all kinds of stuff in our society that's being influenced by demonic spirits. And to say they don't exist doesn't change anything. They still exist. It's because you don't want to admit the reality of our world doesn't change anything. It still exists. If you accept it or not accept it, it doesn't matter. It still exists. So, but Bad Bunny is talking about being a child of Satan even. Because he's chosen that path of homosexuality, transgender, LGK. That is totally against God. That's why he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. We know where Sodom and Gomorrah is. We can find Sodom and Gomorrah. We can go there and find it. Archaeologists dig in it. We know how it's destroyed stuff. It was destroyed exactly like the Bible says. God destroyed. Why did God destroy Sodom and Gomorrah and 5 cities of plain? Because they were deviant lifestyle. They were against God. They had really perversion. A lot of perversion and stuff. A lot of rape, perversion. It's just a terrible place. And that's why our society we're heading on the same path that Sodom and Gomorrah did. We're heading on the same path of destruction. Every country that ever embraced LGBT, homosexuality, immorality, they are destroyed. They have been destroyed. Every society. So we continue on this path of allowing this immoral activity on our country and even the world, that we will be destroyed. Our country will fall. Other countries will fall. So anybody who follows that lifestyle is going to be destroyed. That's not ideology. That's fact. It's historical fact. So we have to understand, as understand says that he serves other gods. If you look at the word other god, there's gods up in the Greek and on the Hebrew there, talking about demigods. It's mentioning demigods. So he's following after these demonic spirits. Demigods are demonic spirits. So it's all showing how demonic, how perversion this guy is. I went online. I looked up curiosity. I looked up his song lyrics. See what they say. I was curious. I was going, oh my gosh, can't believe somebody would actually say this in public, It's just nasty, perversion stuff. Because this guy's worse than I thought he was, listening to his songs and stuff. So it's kind of sad that people will lift him up as a big entertainer just because he's Puerto Rican, because he speaks Spanish. Doesn't matter. I don't care if he speaks Korean or Chinese or any language. No one should be allowed to a public stage in front of children talk that way and rap that way and live that way. It's just immoral, it's indecency, and it's demonic. And we have to call a spade a spade. So we have to understand that. And then if you come to Taylor Swift is mentioned in Joshua 24. Joshua 24, it mentions Taylor Swift, evil demonic singer, serves other gods, a child of Satan. Wait a minute. What does it say over here? In Numbers 26. It's the same thing. The odds of it happening. 2 different authors, 2 different books, 2 different same thing being said over a period of time. So this is all mathematically numerical code. It's basically a computer code. So the same thing being said about Bad Bunny, saying it being said also about Taylor Swift. And I've heard you listen to her new album. That's really nasty. And people take their kids to see her movie and listen to music and her shows. These parents are not very good parents. They should not expose little kids to that kind of indecency and nastiness. I don't care what people say to me. I will always be on the case of defending children's lives. We live in a world where children are now innocents being destroyed because of perversion, immorality. And when I was a kid growing up, I could ride my bicycle everywhere with not any thoughts about anything bad, perverting happening to me. Now children are assaulted all the time. Pedophilia is out of control in the country. We have a lot of people and a lot of groups and homosexual LBK community is really big on pedophilia and perverted actions of kids. We see people all across the world, all across the country and cities that's acts of pedophilia, child pornography is rising and rising and rising and rising. Why does that happen? Because we're dealing with a spiritual war, with an antichrist spirit and perversion spirit, and this is going to continue until we return to God, take our country back to God, and God can heal our country. But if we don't turn the corner and push this stuff away from us, we will not have a country anymore. That's a solid truth. I don't care what you think, what you believe in. Reality is reality, and you can't live in a fantasy world that says this is all a good for them lifestyle. It's not, because it will destroy your own life. It will destroy your own existence, your children's existence, your grandkids' existence. You're talking about your future of this country being totally destroyed for political reasons and for personal indecency and perversions and demonic perversions. God's destroyed the Sodom and Gomorrah for a reason. Rome fell for a reason. So we have to understand all these countries, all these things are historical that were taken down because they embraced this indecency and immorality. So, Deb, we have a question. Have you accepted Christ? Do you believe in God? If you don't, you need to, because we're getting closer and closer to Christ's return. This kind of nastiness is going to increase. We're at war spiritually. We're at war culturally. We're at war against the forces of darkness. If you're not for Christ, you're not for God, who are you for? Satan. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. So who are you going to serve today? Are you going to serve this kind of nastiness and morality? Or are you going to embrace love and peace through Christ? There is no middle ground. I don't care what church you go, what religion you go, who you believe. I don't care. That's the truth. And if you can't handle it, that's between you and God. Talk to God about it. But we have to live in the real world, not live in this fantasy world that doesn't exist out there. We live in a spiritual war. We live in a spiritual world, in a spiritual world. So we understand that's our reality. And that's that's the reality we have to deal with. So this week, think about your life. Are you taking a stand for God? Or are you taking a stand against God? And if you're going, like these people there, entertainers, taking a stand against God, they will be brought down. They may be happy making millions of dollars now, think they're on top of the world, but they will be brought down at some time. God will deal with them in his own time. It's not us to judge them. It's for God to do that. But their own lifestyle will destroy them. And that's something we have to understand. There is a price paid for everything. Everything is a price. Everything has a price. Think about your life. What is the price you're willing to pay? May God bless you.